and welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Protomario, and I wanted to talk about Destiny, House of Wolves DLC. Now, I don't have this scripted. This isn't a scripted video. I'm just going to be talking about if it's worth it or not, the changes that have been made, and things of that nature. So without further ado, let's get into it. I ran through the House of Wolves DLC with 3 32s, so that means I didn't have less level for anyone out there who has not hit 32 yet. But the House of Wolves DLC for most of the missions in the main campaign allow you to do level 26, and I think one of the strikes is 28, which means that you shouldn't have much of a hard time if you have at least a level 28. If you don't, you can buy a little bit of gear from the Vanguard and things of that nature. Just do a slight bit of grinding to get up there. Now, having said that, for everyone else who's at 32, you're going to breeze through this, honestly. First off, when you hit the DLC, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have enough of those shards to ascend your stuff. Now, if you have exotic shards, you can ascend exotics pretty easily. It doesn't take away all of the effort that you put into the exotic, unlike the way that Xur used to do. So that's a big thing, and it's really cool that that doesn't do that, because that means you don't have to redo that stuff. So you can ascend any exotic you want, but it costs about 2,500 glimmer and some parts and things of that nature. The biggest issue that I found with that is that if you have side characters like a warlock or a hunter, you may run out of sapphire wire or hadonic essence, and that's going to be an issue, and you're going to have to just grind for that, because you probably don't turn in a lot of engrams with those characters versus your main character. So that's how it was for me. I didn't have an issue ascending everything with my Titan, but I did run out of materials for my hunter and my warlock. As far as weapons go, that wasn't a problem for me. I ascended every exotic I had. I have all the exotics in the game except for Necrochasm, so it wasn't a big deal for me. I just ascended them. Second thing, Xur came and sold nothing from House of Wolves, so you could gamble on the helmet, but that's it. But he did come with a cool, unique feature allowing you to trade in 2 strange coins for 1 mode of light. Now, if you know about re-rolling and gambling, you can always re-roll for the helmets over and over again and try and get that exotic that you want. So you can turn in as many strange coins as you want. It's not the best deal in the world because you're giving out 2 for 1, so just be aware of that. There's 2 new helmets that look really nice and cool, and then one that looks really weird. I've gotten the Hawk and the statue one, Unending Warrior or something, and the one for the Hunter, but I didn't get the Ram. And I think they're the most psychotic helmets in the game, honestly, because it's pretty much cutting off a ram's head, hollowing it out, and wearing it as a helmet. Same with the bird's head, and same with the statue. Just chop off a statue's head. Look at me, I'm wearing a statue's head. I hollowed it out. Yeah, hell yeah. It's like, oh my god, what is wrong with you, Titan? Have you lost your mind? Yes, he has. He's lost his mind. But those are cool new exotics, and there's a couple other new exotic weapons and things of that nature. So we're getting into the campaign territory now. How is the Reef? How is the campaign? Is it worth the money? Well, the biggest change is that the Reef has a social space, so you're going to be able to go between the Reef and the tower. But if you have Eris bounties, you won't be able to turn them in at the Reef, so that's the only thing besides the gunsmith that you'll have to go back to the tower for. As far as that's concerned, the Reef is going to be your main station for the new DLC and post-game content, because it does have a bounty tracker there. It just does not have the gunsmith or Eris for those bounties. And yes, Eris still gives experience for those bounties, so it's still a good idea to still do them for leveling up your weapons. When you get a new weapon from the Queen's DLC package that has come out, you're going to be able to reforge every weapon you have. You're going to need to go to the gunsmith and reforge whatever skill tree you want on it. So if it has some extra perks, you're going to definitely want to reforge for that. Like, you know, maybe you get one with knee pads and Icarus, and it's like, wow, okay, so you can reforge and re-roll for that. But that does require a mode of light, just like the Iron Banner did. That's an option there, so now if you get a crap gun, you can re-roll for it and you don't have to just go out and get another weapon. Really cool stuff, really nice addition, 10 out of 10 for that. As far as armor goes, I don't think you can reforge armor, but you can ascend legendaries as long as you get etheric light, I believe. And the way you get etheric light is by clearing certain arena stages. You can get 1 etheric light every week for clearing level 34 for each character. I do not believe you can get it twice on the same character, and it resets resets every week. Same with the bounties for the Queen's Reef. Every bounty that's available for the Queen's Reef resets every week, and that makes it so that you don't have to do them every single day. Most of them are hunting down certain wolves in certain areas, waiting for the wolves pack to prowl and things of that nature. When you beat the wolves that are prowling around, you'll also get the bonus chance to go get a fallen treasure, which may contain a treasure key. And using that key when you beat the arena gives you a chance to get Queen's weapons, whether it be her grace or you know, the shotgun or the fusion rifle that's there. You can get a chance for that. You can also roll for exotics in that chest as well. I got the Truth. I've seen people get Suros, and I've gotten a shotgun and a fusion rifle, and someone else got a sniper rifle from that chest. When you beat the arena, you have the access to 2 chests that are small with a chance for etheric light and things of that nature, Mozilite materials, things like that, but you do not get access to the big chest unless you have one of those keys. So grinding for those keys is a good idea. Now, the campaign itself was pretty solid. Not trying to spoil it for anyone, but the final battle is pretty easy, and I mean that with capital E. I think I went through it twice without ever dying once or having issues, and then the final one, I ran out of ammo one time and it caused me an issue. That was it, man. Skullus is pretty easy, and I set everything to max settings. The strike is very fun. It's very cool. I like it a lot. It reminds me a lot of House of Devils when you go through the Devil's Lair, and that's a great new addition, and having the option for the Dragon Vanguard strikes makes it a 10 out of 10, because you definitely need another strike. You definitely need it to be a higher level, higher difficulty, better rewards. It's time to crank it up. You know, when you get up to level 34, doing level 26 strikes becomes extremely easy. So at least they crank it up to level 28. And the weekly challenges now can go up to 32 as well, and I believe the Nightfalls can go up to 32. I'm not 100% on that, so if that's untrue, I'm very sorry. It's either 30 or 32. Level difference doesn't make much of a difference if you're level 34 or 33 even. There's just a small scaling issue if you're not 2 levels above. As far as the rest of the campaign goes, it's cool. You get to work with a guy named Valrix, which is a Fallen, and you get to work with the Queen's right hand, and their talk back and forth, their banter is pretty solid. The way they speak to you, the Fallen guy is hilarious, man. He's just really, really funny to listen to. Way better than the Ghost. Way better than the Ghost. And as you go through the campaign, it's pretty nice. You'll get rewarded with 1 treasure key, a whole bunch of emblems, and things of that nature. Pick whichever emblem you want to use. That's just up to you. The last thing I wanted to hit on was Trials of Osiris. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people were looking forward to Trials of Osiris, thinking that this was going to be something way unique, way special, but pretty much it's very similar to the 3-man team mode, where you can revive a teammate if they die, and that's pretty much it. Trials does not matchmake, so you need a fire team to be able to do it. You can do it 3 times. When you lose 3 times, you're out. If you win 9 times, you get a gold package and the possibility of getting the exotic Fate of All Fools. I'm not sure how the exotic goes. I'm sure there's a bounty quest that will come up if you win a certain amount of times to get it, and that's that. You can turn it in for rewards, you can get armor, whatever you want. But my point is, the armor light cap is 34. You can get up to 34 by ascending your legendaries. So it doesn't matter if you have Crota's End, or Vault of Glass gear, or hell, even Vanguard gear. You could even have the Iron Banner gear as well. And you could have some old exotics, and you could ascend them and be 34. You don't need to do trials to get that. The trials is just to show off that you can do something that other people can't. It's kind of bragging rights. But in the end, when you really think about it, if you get a gun that's extremely similar to the guns that are rewarded in the trials, you can reforge those weapons, and you can make them into any weapon you want. You can make the perfect scout rifle, perfect pulse rifle, the perfect sniper rifle, the perfect shotgun, just by re-rolling them over and over at the gunsmith. That pretty much eliminates the uniqueness of Trials of Osiris, unless you just want to be one of those guys who wants to show off your emblem, your cloak, or whatever else. Look, I'm not downplaying people who do like to do that, but in the end, it just is a show-off. That's all it is, since you can reroll for all the skills that you want, and you can send any armor that you want as well. Hell, Valrix, throughout the weeks, will be selling a new piece of armor every time. So you could get a full suit of House of Wolves and become 34 as well, without needing to ascend anything. So that's really on you. If you want to keep doing the arena over and over again and just getting armor tokens and weapon tokens for Valrix, there you go. It's done and done. You'll be able to get 34 without a problem. And it just, I don't really know if I'm super interested in the Trials of Osiris because of the fact that it's not super special. It's not anything unique, and it won't give you anything beyond unique either. It just feels like, you know, if you run into someone with the Trials of Osiris armor on, it's just like, yeah, okay, you did it too, so did I, and things of that nature. That's all I feel about that. So I don't know if Trials of Osiris is a huge gain for the endgame content. Maybe if you're a big PvP guy, but whatever. I personally don't see it being a big, huge advantage to the DLC or a selling point, honestly. As far as campaign and the arena goes, really great. The arena is really fun. It consists of 4 rounds and a 5th round final boss. As the levels do progressively get harder, like when you take on 34, you're going to have to take on 2 bosses, a 4th round boss, and a 5th round boss. And at the final one, you're going to have to take on Skullus once again as the final boss. But yeah, the bosses are unique and they're very cool. When you get up to 34, 35, and 30... yeah, 34 and 35. They're unique and cool. 28 and 32 are okay, but 34 and 35 are very unique and very fun and very cool. Very challenging to take on, and you're going to need some great teamwork to conquer it. And that's the whole theme of House of Wolves, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been playing Destiny for any extended period of time, and you've built up a nice group of people you like to play with constantly, you're going to be okay. But if you're a solo player, you're not going to have the best time, because you can only matchmake on the level 28 arena. You can only matchmake the 28 strikes, and as far as everything else is concerned, you need to have a team there to play with you because it won't matchmake you. So meet up with the randoms, post on the forums, and get on whatever sites you need to get on to get your teammates. But if you're going to take on the arena, the Trials of Osiris, and things of that nature, and the Nightfalls as well, you're going to need a team. So ladies and gentlemen, that's my recap of House of Wolves. If any of this sounds enticing enough to purchase, I would if I were you. It is worlds above the Dark Below. Worlds above the Dark Below. God, the Dark Below was such a crap DLC compared to this. This really beats the crap out of it. Now, having said that, this DLC only takes about maybe an hour and a half to run through and complete total campaign, and possibly a couple arenas too if you're pretty quick about it. So it's not the most extensive DLC, but it's just there to allow you to keep your gear, make your Titan the way you want to make them, your Guardian rather, and keep the weapons that you want and use the weapons that you want and make them the way you want. And I feel that this DLC is actually what should have come out with Destiny, and so you should have been able to keep any weapon you wanted that you got from the start. And armor and things of that nature, and I feel like this really should have shipped with Destiny and would have made Destiny 10 out of 10. If this shipped with Destiny, I think there would have been a lot less people upset, a lot less people angry. Destiny still might have had a lack of content and story, but at the very least, you could have shaped the Guardian the way you wanted him to be. So guys, that's about all there is to say about Destiny's House of Wolves. If you guys are interested in playing it, make sure to hop on, download the DLC, pay the money, it's worth it. If it sounds like it's worth it and you haven't been on Destiny for a long time, check it out. I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing up. Thanks for watching.
And now, the important decision of joining the Maverick Rebellion. We are a tight group of individuals who rebel against stereotypes and greater evils that are common commonly accepted. ISPs, children being conned out of games, sexism in video games, enough is enough, and the Mavericks have had it. If you choose to subscribe, or stay subscribed, you are joining the fight against injustice by watching my numerous video topics, from net neutrality to publishers covering up botched releases. The Mavericks are always informed on the issues plaguing your gaming experience today, so don't be left out in the cold, and don't let those people keep you down. Join the Maverick Rebellion today and become a member of the community that will listen and engage with you. What are you waiting for? Just click subscribe and you'll be in good company. Mavericks unite!